What's up, guys? It's Meta here with ShamWow. I know I'm weird about real names on the internet. People are like that. Top 8 at Edison Worlds.
Yeah.
Diva Hero.
Yeah.
Only non-big 3 in the top 8. Everything.
The only interesting deck in the top.
Yeah, the only deck that wasn't Frogs, Vayu, or Blackwing. So let's get into the list here.
Hi. I'm ShamWow, creator of the ShamWow 40. Although I did not play that for this event, I played Televisual's deck. So shout out Televisual. This is his 40. Please do not call this the new ShamWow 40. This is his 40
Guys,
cards.
this is the ShamWow 40.
So I went with the Spy package. My philosophy with the deck is basically the games you win is always when you see Engine. So like when you see your Stratos and your Divas and your Resolve Future Fusion and your Miracles are rolling, that's how you win games. And if you don't see that, typically you lose.
See you, Chris.
So for me, what's more important with the other side of your deck, like the not discrete engine,
The non-hero cards.
yeah, the non-hero cards, is like being able to have cards that interact with your opponent that can allow you to play through their back row, and allow you to even just wall up so that you can eventually find engine. So I tried Treeborn, I tried Necrogardna, I tried Arma, and I just found that once you draw those brick hands, you just can't do anything and you lose. Whereas this allows you to play, and then even if you do see engine, you can just like OTK faster than you normally would. Like Spy into Diva is crazy. So
Makes sense.
that's what influenced the choice. And then obviously,
Do you feel the Spy is too slow ever? Like, do you side it out?
yeah, I side it out usually just for cards going second. It's kind of how it's. Flips are typically slow going second in Edison. It's kind of the same idea, but sometimes you keep it in to play under oppression, or if you're not siding too many cards for a given matchup, they stay in.
Okay.
But my primary concern with siding out Spies and Descendants is usually just making room for cards like Cyber Dragon or whatever.
Do you ever just do one Descendant, one Spy out, and just keep double Spy in, so you can just still have that play with the Diva?
Yeah, that was Televisual's advice when he talked about how to side against DDV decks. Just take out a Spy and Descendant going second. Oh yeah, and Gilman.
Yeah.
I think I got lucky and didn't draw Gilman like too much. Maybe once every couple of matches. And then you have the heroes. I sided out one Prodigy a lot.
I was going to say double Prodigy with Spy package seems a little clunky.
It
sets
up it sets up Allure, it sets up like Army Arm Colossal, it's a free Black Rose. It's not I've rarely had a hand where it conflicts, and if it does, you just like pitch the Prodigy with Wind Blast or something and you're set.
Sure.
Ugh. And then Grepher, Plague.
No Arma anymore.
No Arma. So when I was playing the Treeborn build, I tried only Arma, no Grepher, with Gardna, and I was surprised by how versatile Arma felt. I think Arma's the better standalone card, but in this deck, Grepher just works.
Okay.
Yeah, unbricks Mally and other important stuff. I get it.
Yeah, and then there are times where special summon Grepher to like use priority on Mally, so you dodge Crow is really good.
Yeah. Discard Mally for cost, special summon.
Yeah.
And then Caius and the bosses.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy's pretty good.
Yeah, Televisual did a good job with all his ratios. So
Not for the fun green cards.
3 Miracle, 2 Sark.
2 Sark.
At the Ulti Caius tournament, I played 1 E-Call over 1 Sark. E-Call was okay. I think with this particular version, you have a lot of normal summons already, so you don't necessarily need the 3rd Stratos.
I can see that.
It's more just maintaining a lot of internal consistency, and then all the 1-0s.
All the good cards. Do you like Minecon?
Minecon's good.
I feel like with all the tuners, it just makes sense.
Yeah, against Blackwings, you take it out because it gives.
And you're not playing Plague, are you?
I am.
Oh, you are playing. Okay, I saw that. Okay.
Yeah, it was in there. It was with Grepher.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then.
Because then we have more things that it works with. Yeah.
Double Wind Blast.
Wind Blast is good, and then Return and 4 Staple Traps.
Okay.
Wind Blast is really good, especially if you know how to use it well. Its power scales with multiples.
Don't call out my skill issues.
And then extra 3 Ab-Zero,
Of course.
Chimeratech, because I side Sidra. I don't think Televisual did in his list. I could be wrong about that, but
No Gaia.
no
miss it?
Gaia. No, I side Dinah, but I don't like play call or anything like that.
Right.
So, and I think Miracle Fusion onto a Goyo or like a Brain Con and some random Earth monster and make the Gaia comes up so like
infrequently.
Yeah, so infrequently that like it's not really worth the extra X space. Chimeratech, it's mainly for Machina, but I think that there's a lot more versatility and utility to that.
Did you ever miscall?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember. I can't really think of a moment where Call would have been good. I feel like Return just does what Call does, but better.
Did I see Sangan earlier? Or are you not on that?
No, not
okay,
Sangan. I did try Sangan in this particular deck, and it's nice to like fade a spy by setting Sangan and make people play awkwardly. And that's the other benefit to having spies is just once they know they're in your deck, you can set whatever you want.
Yeah, you want, and then they got to work around. It's like, oh, what am I going to do?
I agree. I think Sangan with Spy is too many sets.
Yeah, it's a question of like how many normal summons are you willing to run in the deck that really values its normal summon for like Stratos.
It is a normal
Caius.
Summon deck, yeah. When you don't have that miracle, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Army Arm, Catastor, Android, Brio. Where's my Goyo? There it is. And then Tempest Magician. This actually came up in
tournament. Let's go, because of the spies.
Yeah. Against Lightsworn in game 1, I won because even though he had Necrogardener in graveyard, he was low enough for me to burn him with Tempest Magician.
That's awesome.
That's so good.
Gotta love doing it back to the Lightsworn players.
Yeah. Black Rose.
They're like the only other deck that can play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then...
It's not standard. Yeah.
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 No Mistworm surprises me a little bit, given how easy you can make it with Spined Diva. Would you put it in there if you had room, or do you like it without it?
If I wasn't siding Cyber Dragon and I wasn't playing Chimeratech as a result, I would probably play it. But Tempest is good for time, and then...
I agree, yeah. Okay.
And then... I don't know. I don't know what else you would cut for Mistworm. Token.
Obligatory.
2 Cyber Dragon. I just like this against... It's just a really good card. I like it in any aggressive matchup. GB is surprisingly hard for this deck, unless you just have like all
Especially
the Miracle
the spies.
Fusions
Yeah.
and all the Caiuses rolling. And then...
And they don't have the chariot for it.
Yeah. And then like, against Blackwing and sometimes Vayu, you can arguably it's bad into like Oppression, but being able to clear Raikos or like try to force Bottomless so that your bigger monster stick is just good. And then I sided 2 Crow. I like it's okay. I mean, it did work. I think against Vayu. No, I mean, I think in Vayu there are better cards. Not cards that do the same thing Crow does, but are just better cards than Crow. But in rogue decks like this, where you get hosed by deck dev and stuff, I think Crow becomes just a bit of necessity, and it's okay in the mirror. And it's a dark for Dad.
Yep.
What are those cards you'd say are better into value that you would want to play if you knew you were going to be going against mostly meta decks?
Oh, sorry, in Vayu there are better cards inside. Yeah.
Okay.
Not into Vayu. Crow is pretty good into Vayu as a rogue deck.
Say.
As a rogue deck that loses the DDV. No, man, I think you should side Herald of Purple Light in your Diva Hero deck. And then this is Televisual's ratio, 1 Vanity, 1 Dyna.
I saw it and I was very interested by it.
Yeah, I mean, it just worked, so I just kept going with it. 2 Vanity, I think, is reasonable. It's just, again, nice to sort of, you make your opponent think you're setting a spy, and then they run into
They work hard to get rid of it, and then, yeah.
Yeah, and then you just Dyna them. So, and then, I don't side any spells, I don't think, now. So 3 Dust Tornado.
3.
Yeah. I used to play like 2 Dust Tornado and 1 Breaker, and then the Breaker kept getting rugged. And I realized, again, the deck is like so reliant on its normal summon, you can't afford to lose tempo by having your normal summon get rugged, that just overall Dust Tornado is much better.
Yeah, that deck does not like rug.
Yeah. And then the goal of my side, and really the main deck, is to really target the Blackwing matchup and just destroy it, at least post side.
Dusts are good for that.
Yeah, and against GB, against other bad matchups, this is really good. I don't think I brought it in against Vayu just because it's not that great, but these put in work. Just being able to safely set Spy and set Prison so that you dodge Shura or you can stave off some pressure. It was really good.
It kind of makes sense because Vayu has the Hamster Rykos to get rid of it before the battle phase, where Blackwing just doesn't have access to that.
Yeah, it's just you just remove their monsters and then their Blizzard sucks. So.
It's also insurance against GBs.
Yeah, and then Rugs, good.
Rug is good.
Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument for Mask. I know a true hero likes Mask, but you play Descendant in this deck, so.
Oh, yeah.
True.
There's like only 2 Caius? That's not so. Oh, yeah, Descendant.
Yeah, Descendant is basically your third Caius in this deck.
Yeah, and it's searchable, so.
And then Deck Dev and Oppression. Deck Dev is like, as a one of, it's kind of hard to evaluate just because like it's a blowout when it does work. But at the same time, if you're doing like Diva into Catastor set DDV, you hope that the reward you get is pretty high. So this is like more so for like Frogs or I guess at locals I once DDV to Chaos Fury deck.
That deck does not like DDV at all.
Yeah, so it's okay. I mean, you just have to have follow up. Otherwise, the hand knowledge doesn't do anything. Like if you don't have pressure, you don't have miracles to follow it up.
Would you play another Oppression?
I've tried to Oppression. The problem is that the way Oppression works with this is like you make a board and then you set it. So like Stardust, if you can get them low enough, Stardust Oppression is brutal.
Yeah.
But like Ab-Zero Oppression is fine because then you can just keep so many monsters and poking them. Dad Oppression is also brutal, but the problem with drawing multiples, you don't like drawing multiples is really bad, and you only really want to see it when you're ahead and you can like make that push so that you're controlling the board. Otherwise, it's just dead and it'll work against you. So I think
it's the vanity's emptiness logic.
The vanity's emptiness, yeah. See, fellow hat player. No,
all of them player, yeah.
Yeah, it worked. It did work. I sided it in against Teledad and Lightsworn, and I don't know if I'd have to go back and look at the replays, but I think it put in work against Teledad. Lightsworn, I don't think I saw it, but it's good against like Amaryllis and all those other matchups where you kind of just want to race them down or just make a board before they can, and then stop them from being able to play the game.
Right.
What were your matchups?
So round 1 and 2 were both Blackwing, although the second round might have been. Yeah, I think the second round was hybrid Blackwing, like the Marcus L.
The triple Grepher build.
Yeah. That one was surprisingly tougher than the other Blackwings.
It's fast.
It can pop off.
Yeah, and the fact that game 1 I lost because he had Burial to reuse his Gardna, and that was I was like, damn, he got me. And then he returned, I think, for game. I was like, this is not a Blackwing deck.
So you said 6-1 in Swiss.
6-1 in Swiss. And then round 3 was Lightsworn. Round 4 was Frogs, which I lost, which was my one loss.
Like Hero Frog.
Hero Frog, yeah. Against that, for this deck, the Monarch Train isn't too bad per se. It's more just you need to pressure them, and Spy is good at doing that, albeit a little slow. And really, I think Diva Hero has a hard time against Frogs, where if you bide your time, they can just sort of Ab-Zero to stop all your pushes, and then you have nothing left. But if you try to rush them early, which is what you should do most of the time, if they have any defense, it becomes very hard to win the game after that.
Okay.
Round 5 was Blackwing. Round 6 was Teledad. I think I misspoke. Rounds 2 and 3 were both Blackwing. I don't know.
It was you said birds in the middle or at the end, and then
in the beginning, and then
in the
middle, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Lightsworn and Teledad.
Yeah, and
Frogs.
round 5 was against Samu, who was last year's champion, so it felt good to win. Then Teledad, that was surprisingly hard until game 3 I did 77 and I had Vanity's Fiend on that board.
Yeah.
And then round 7 was Blackwing against Ludo, good player. I drew exceptionally well and won 2-0. And then top 8 was Virus Vayu, another Marcus LOL creation against Scrub for Life. Yeah.
And you lost in game 3, you said?
Yeah, I lost in game 3. So game 1 is a little dicey. I still think about it because basically I discarded my Miracle Fusion for Wind Blast to hit his back row, which I thought was Virus because he went like Sirocco Gale and made Thought Ruler.
Oh.
And then it turned out it was Solemn. So when I dropped my dad, it got Solemned and the game sort of ran away from there. And then game 3, I just bricked. He held Dustshoot, which was really good. The goal was I'd like Dust Tornadoed one of his back row so that I could brain his Grepher and send Plague and dump Mally so that I actually had a play. And then, but he Dustshoot'd the Plague away. And then I sort of misplayed for the rest of the game and I didn't see any engine. So it was, and he had life dad. So it was game over.
There you go.
That'll do it.
Yeah, congrats on the top 8. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.